All right, I think we are live. It should should be popping up in about 15, 20 seconds with the delay.
Oh, it's already there.
It is.
Yeah, baby. All right.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is the At Odds Podcast After Dark.
Oh, Lord.
I'm your host, Brian Hemminger. We are doing a very special episode. We're trying out some new video feed stuff. So, and if you guys like it, we'll keep doing it. Couple issues. I don't know how it's going to work with interviews and guests, but at least on the episodes where we're not planning any guests or anything crazy, we're going to do it like this, I think. Can have some really good interaction with Facebook. Everybody can be watching live. You can watch the video afterwards. Should be a lot of fun. And Brandon doesn't know this, but I can fuck with him since I'm the host.
We can put a dick in my face.
Now, I don't know how to do that yet, but like, see, you can just check his name right now. It should be popping up any second.
What does it say? I can't even see the motherfucker.
You should know.
It says douche. So,
see, this is the kind of amateurish shit that you guys are in store for tonight. Now, basically today's episode, there's not a lot of major sports stuff going on, so we're just basically going to be fucking around a little bit. We're going to be talking fallout from the NFL draft. We're going to be just talking with you guys. Anything you guys want to bring up? Obviously, we'll have the rant of the week, Hemm's Gems. We won't be having any of the awesome sound bites, Aaron, for those. I'll probably edit them in later, but like for the iTunes version and everything. But yeah, everything else should be about the same, just without any cool intro, outro music live, at least. Just if you're a big fan of that stuff, yeah, it'll be there on the SoundCloud and YouTube versions and shit. So,
all right. Woo. But for real, we got to get. What did you think of the draft?
I was a big fan of the draft. I mean, the Browns had so many ways they could fuck it up. I was terrified that they were going to take a quarterback one. I would have been so pissed if they took a quarterback with the number one spot, but they didn't. They stuck to their guns and they took Myles Garrett like every reasonable person said they should. And that was the one thing that they could screw up, and then they didn't do that. So I was really happy about that.
Dude, that guy that we had on the show said straight up that it wasn't going to happen. Remember, he said it was going to be Myles Garrett no matter what. So,
yep. Did you see what the Browns posted on Twitter right afterwards too?
No. What'd they say?
Did you ever see draft day? Like,
I never saw draft day.
Okay. Well, it's like important part is he gave this guy a piece of paper and says, open this like before the draft. And the paper said like the dude's name, no matter what, on who he wanted to draft. And the Browns on draft day, right after they picked Garrett, they posted like the guy opening up that piece of paper. And it said, instead of that guy's name from the movie, it said Myles Garrett, no matter what, on the piece of paper when he opened it.
No,
it
really?
was hilarious. Yeah, it was hilarious. They even referenced like that exact moment. So I told that guy that he was a genius. But
that's great. Yeah, I thought the Vikings had a pretty decent draft. I didn't mind it. We got Delvin Cook. He's a pimp. He can replace Peterson pretty much right now. I think he's got
offensive lineman too.
Got Pat Elflein from
your favorite university. Your favorite.
Hey, you know what? He fits. I'll take it. You know.
Hey, we got Peppers from Michigan, but you know what? The second they're in the NFL, I don't give a flying fuck what school they went to. I really don't. I cheered for Braylon Edwards when he was on the Browns too.
We got that Gideon from Michigan. He's that linebacker they had. That was pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's not too bad. We got him in the 4th round. We had 2 4th-round picks, like 2 top 15 picks in the 4th round. Got that defensive tackle from Iowa. But other than that, dude, it was whatever. I mean, the draft is fun. But you never know how it's going to pan out, a couple years from now.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing is those instant grades that everybody posts, it's really difficult to get a read on because you don't know. Nobody knows. I mean, it's hilarious to go back and see what people's grades were for drafts like 5 years after the fact, and like maybe somebody reached for a player, but that dude ends up being like a 4-time Pro Bowler, and they're like, oh, they gave up way too much for this guy, F, and then the guy ends up being insane. So who cares that they reached for the guy as long as he pans out. So I mean, right now, the only thing you can really judge is value, and I thought the Vikings had great value. They got guys that can start right away despite not having a first-round pick. The Browns got insane value getting Garrett, Peppers, and Njoku. Those guys, all three are going to start right away. Kaiser doesn't have to start right away, but, I mean, he could be the quarterback of the future. Who knows? And then they got, like, 3 other guys that could start right away with Olin Joby or whatever the hell that guy's name is out of Charlotte, and the dude from Florida, that if like the allegations fall through or whatever.
He's
Brandon,
awesome.
I think, I mean, he could be a guy that could be a key part of the defensive line. So I mean, their defense
top run stopper in the NCAA football. So he's good. He's good.
That's exactly what they need too. The Browns were so bad against the run last year, and that's a guy that could help immediately. So, I'm really excited about what they did. And they got the best kicker. I mean, in the 7th round, why not just take the best kicker instead of having to fight for him with all the undrafted free agents after the draft?
The Arizona State kicker.
Yeah, that dude's sick. And, I mean, Cody Parkey did okay for the Browns last year, but he sucked ass at kicking 50 yards and more, and this guy went 7 for 9 on 50-plus last year in college.
No shit.
So, this is, I mean...
He won that Lou Groza award, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why not? So, I'm pumped. Plus the value I brought up. They ended up getting an extra first-rounder again for next year by trading down from 12 to 25 with Houston. So the Browns basically just, like, clipped off Houston's balls during the free agency and the draft. I mean, think about this, okay? In terms of pure value, the Browns got a second-rounder next year from Houston, a first-rounder next year from Houston, Brock Osweiler, and Peppers. And Houston got a 4th-rounder next year and Deshaun Watson. That's basically the trade. If you combine the 2 trades they made, that's ridiculous.
No, they did a hell of a job. Hopefully that transitions into wins. You know what I mean?
But that's the thing. You're not in
theory, right?
It's not going to translate into wins immediately, but down the road, that should be paying off immensely as long as they don't fuck up the drafts. And I don't think they did this year. And if they do what they did next year, like just go for like extremely athletic dudes, guys with a lot of physical gifts, guys that were producers, then it should be fine. And I'm not expecting them to have the first pick next year, even though I think, according to all the betting odds, they're expected to have the first pick. But I think that they will have a better record than somebody next year, at least one.
Yeah, dude, for sure.
I'm calling it right now.
I'm telling you right now.
Prediction.
The peak for them is 8-8.
I'm not going to say 8-8. I will never. I'm not predicting 8-8 or better.
I didn't say I was predicting 8-8. I said
peak. I think they could get 5 after winning 1 last year. So. They could at least get 5.
Talent, man. I mean, if this O-line holds up, and their defense is pretty stout.
Mm-hmm.
Well, not stout, but they're getting there. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I think their basement is probably 3 or 4 wins, obviously, but I think they can get to 8 if their schedule permits. You never know.
Yeah, I agree.
But as far as Vikings go, man, I mean, they're right there if they can get an O-line.
Yeah, their defense was sick last year.
One of the best in the NFL. I mean, we got that center, and then we got a guard from Miami at Isadora that's actually pretty good. And then that's pretty much all we did for the line, which was pretty – matter of fact, I was a little disappointed in the Vikings draft, to be quite honest with you. It's not that it sucked. It was just that they got their biggest needs are defensive tackle and offensive line. They got 2 guys from the offensive line, one stud, one question marks, but they only got the defensive tackle one in the whole draft of a loaded defensive tackle draft, and they got one in this Jaleel Johnson from Iowa. Which, I mean, I don't know.
Well, they had a lot of needs. I mean, it wasn't just defensive tackle. I mean, they lost Adrian Peterson too, and you kind of needed. And that guy fell into their lap. I mean, he was predicted to be a first-round guy, Cook, and
yeah, for sure.
Into the second,
no,
you got to take him.
The first two dudes that we drafted, Cook and Elflein, are probably going to start. Not probably, they will start.
Yeah.
But outside of them, I don't know who will start. And the rest of the draft, I don't think we drafted another starter that may be down the road.
Yeah, it's tough to draft starters in the fourth round and after immediate. I mean, a lot of those guys are people that
we didn't get
down the road can start, but not immediate starts. Yeah, and so without having a first round pick, the fact that they got at least two starters, I think they blew it out of the park. I mean,
yeah.
I mean, it's completely different than the Browns, who had 3 first round picks by the time they were done with the day one. So.
Yeah, it's one of those things, man. Like, I don't know what's going on with this chat. Where's everybody at?
Yeah, we got a few, but not a lot. We got Malia made a comment, and we've reached a few people. So,
but yeah, I'd say, what'd you do this week? Anything crazy?
Okay, this weekend I wasn't doing anything real crazy. I interviewed some Cleveland Indians players. It was pretty fun. I talked to this guy named Kai Tom. He's from Hawaii. He was their 5th round pick in 2015. Dude played backup quarterback in Hawaii to Marcus Mariota in high school.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So he didn't get on the field very much. But yeah, he's really good. He could be on the Indians within about 2 years. And then I talked to Shane Bieber today. So,
Biebs.
Yeah, the Biebs. No relation to Justin Bieber. He gets that a lot. He was their 4th round pick last year, pitched in the College World Series. Really good. Guy's walked 3 people in his career since they drafted him. He struck out like 50, and he's walked 3. He's walked 1 this year.
Maybe they need to bring him up a little earlier.
Yeah, he's a college arm. They'll promote him quick, because those advanced guys, they already know what they're doing. So he'll be on the fast track for sure.
That's cool though, man. That you get to interview these guys. Maybe we can get a couple of those on our show.
Maybe. It just depends. So far, I mean, we'd have to get them to I have that prospect chat that we do on Thursday nights, and I know that the dude that runs the Let's Go Tribe site would much rather have the prospects talking on that show.
For sure.
Yeah. And the other issue is when we're hosting the show, they're playing.
Yeah.
So, they're playing true. Right now. So it's really tough to do it during the season and have guys on. I have to talk to them. I talked to my guy today at 2:00 because, they had a night game. So
yeah. So what do you do? Are these pre-recorded stuff that you just play later?
With those interviews, I usually just record them myself, and then I have this little voice recorder. Let me pop it up here. And I'll just call them on the phone and then record it, have it on speakerphone, record it, and then transcribe the whole conversation and then take what I like out of it and post it. So I'm the type of person that I think kind of selfishly, I think that every question I ask is amazing, and I want everything that they answer to be included. So I just type up everything that we say, and usually I post almost exactly what we said word for word.
Yeah.
And maybe I'll cut out a couple of things, like if an answer sucked or if a question ended up not being as good as I thought it would be. But for the most part, yeah. I post everything we talked about.
Yeah. I didn't really do shit this past weekend. I had my children all weekend, and it was rainy. I made some beats on my production equipment that are pretty solid. But other than that, I didn't do shit. But I tell you what, this weekend's gonna be sweet because my friend Olivia, she's having a baby, so instead of having a little baby shower, they're having a baby party. It's gonna be at this marina. It's gonna be dope. There's gonna be 100 people there. Party favors, food, piñata, bunch of liquor and beer. It's gonna be a hell of a time. Way to bring a baby in, huh?
As long as she's not drinking it.
Nah, she'll just hit the fuck out of a pinata like Billy Madison style.
There we go. Is it going to be a baby pinata or a pregnant woman pinata?
I think it should be like a tits and stomach. Just smash the shit out of it, and like little babies come out.
Yes. It sounds awful, but also hilarious.
Yeah, dude, who cares? I love it. But they got they got some cool shit going on over there. I'm probably gonna get hammered. Hopefully, I don't make an ass of myself in front of a bunch of people. But I don't care. It's gonna be sweet. They're my Lao family. They're all Asians. You know what I mean? They're awesome. They've been like a good part of my life for 10, 15 years. A long time.
You can't go wrong with Asians.
No, they're cool. They're all cool as fuck. Every single one of them. But that should be a good time. Friday, I'll probably get drunk. I haven't been getting drunk very much at all lately, like pretty much the past year. So I figured this weekend would be kind of like a celebratory weekend, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what I'm celebrating, but I've had a stressful couple of weeks that I'm just gonna try and unload on some beer. Speaking of beer, what was the first time you ever got drunk?
Drunk or first beer? Because there's
first drunk. Because there's a huge difference. I want to know your first drunk story.
I went to go visit my cousin Derek at Bowling Green.
How old were you?
I was after I graduated high school. I didn't drink like beer until I graduated high school. I was like such a goody two shoes all the way through.
Yeah.
And then my cousin Derek invited me after I graduated to go visit him at BG because Ohio State started late, and so there was all of my friends and everybody was already starting school.
Yeah.
And BG was having college game day there because they were having like an insane season, and they're facing like Northern Illinois or something, and they had like the Burner Turner kid that ended up running for the Atlanta Falcons. Like it was a crazy season, but man, he was just showing me off to people because they discovered I could drink fast, and he would just take me around and have me pounding beer bongs. And
so your first time getting drunk, you're beer bonging?
Oh yeah, like the first time I drank beer was a beer bong.
So tell me this. What was the outcome of all this drinking?
Nothing crazy. I mean, he took care of me.
Yeah, but you got fucking hammered
at BG. Yeah, but I don't think I did anything ridiculously stupid. I just got drunk, and my cousin took care of me because he's a good dude. So I don't know. It's not really a crazy story. The crazy story was the first time I had beer was at Janice Rivera's graduation party.
Yeah, is that when you threw up?
Oh yeah, in front of everybody. I mean, that's way funnier because
yeah, let's hear it.
Yeah, I'd never had beer before, and they all knew that I could drink fast because I was always like just chugging water, chugging milk, like in a stupid ass milk chugging contest. And I'd been, and Janice Rivera, she had like this whole big Mexican graduation party, like.
Yeah,
there was like just this monstrous Mexican buffet, and I spent like a couple hours just eating the shit out of nachos and chalupas and stuff. Like I was just bursting at the seams.
I can hear you just fine.
Okay, yeah, and I was bursting at the seams, and somebody decides, everybody starts drinking and everything, and they're like, well, the kids drink, and I'm just like, fuck it, I'll drink since I'm not going to get kicked out of anything in school anymore or get in trouble. So somebody brings out a beer bong, and they knew that I could drink fast, and they poured. It's Ricky Ohm's beer bong. It's called the Delinquent.
Yeah, I fucking bonged tons of beer out of that thing.
Yeah, and they poured a whole pitcher into it, and they just had me go out into the backyard. All of Janice Rivera's family and friends were out there, and they see me get out there with it. All my friends and all the kids that I graduated with that were there were out there watching, and I'd start destroying this thing. And I get down to about this much left in the whole beer bong, and then all of a sudden my stomach fills up. and I could just feel that there's no room left in my stomach for the beer. Like, I'm not sick or anything. It's just I'm too full. And all of a sudden, my esophagus starts filling up, and I'm like, oh shit. and I stop, and a little bit of pressure pushes out, and it spurts out through the top of the funnel. And then I just stop, and they're like, somebody goes, he's gonna blow. And I just turn and just projectile vomit in front of all of Janice Rivera's family and all of my friends, into the back garden. It was so bad. It was so embarrassing.
That guy.
Yeah, and then I just got in my car and left. I was so embarrassed.
You left?
Yeah, I didn't.
Fuck,
stick
at
around.
that point, nothing to lose.
Yeah.
You just drink, just keep going. Make a crazy night of it. Dude, the first time I ever got hammered, dude, I was 14 years old, probably going on 15. And we were on a houseboat. It was me and Aaron Falk. We were on this houseboat with his family and another family, and we're down in Tennessee on this houseboat, in this lake. It was the last night we were there, and me and Aaron had this room that was literally on top of the houseboat. It was its own little room up there, and we had a hot tub up there, and his brother Jimmy and this pretty hot chick that came with us named Brooke, they were drinking. They had this alcohol out there, and it was Southern Comfort. I'm pretty sure it was Southern Comfort, or it was some whiskey, but I'm positive. I'm pretty sure it was Southern Comfort. And they were giving me capfuls. They took the cap off, and they knew I was young, so they stick the cap, fill it up, and give it to me. Dude, no, they gave me 15 to 20 of these things. And by the time, and I'm a little kid at this time, I'm probably 105 pounds at this point.
Jesus.
I'm not even a big dude. So I'm pounding this shit. I don't remember what the hell happened next, but all I know is I woke up, I was laying on a fucking lawn chair on top of a houseboat getting jacuzzi water poured on my head, trying to keep me alive pretty much. Aaron's mom comes up. I'll never forget this. She's like, what the hell is going on up here? It sounds like a bowling alley. Because we were running back and forth. I'm acting stupid. You know what I mean? Dude, oh my God. I puked that night. I woke up the next morning fucking hungover as shit. It was the first time I ever been drunk in my life. We have to drive from Tennessee to Ohio. We get Hardee's. They got those Hardee's that are in the turnpike areas. So we got Hardee's, and I remember I ate the Hardee's. I felt like shit, and I fucking barfed in the truck in my Hardee's bag. Just got it all over my fries, everything. And Aaron's there like, you didn't drink anything you weren't supposed to, did you? No, Jimbo, I didn't. Oh, I don't even know what that is. You know what I mean? Dude, that was a hell of a trip, man. We were out in this houseboat, and it was in the middle of nowhere, so I kept calling it we're in the Deliverance. Remember the movie Deliverance?
Yeah.
Where they're out in the woods and shit? I kept going, ding, 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 ding. And I kept going up, the fucking mountain man up in the goddamn mountains. We got to get out of here. That shit was crazy, though. It was a good time, though, man. That was the first time I ever got hammered. It was interesting. Yeah. I have some pretty fucked up stories about getting hammered, though. I'm sure you do, too.
Yeah, I have a lot of fucked up stories if I get hammered.
You should tell everybody about how you ended up in the paddy wagon missing a shoe.
Oh, that was a good one. Well, wait, was that the night that the money
Put
on
the rail?
Did I miss the shoe?
Money on the rail.
Okay, I could tell that story because it's hilarious. The night I got us band
enthusiasm too.
From McFadden's. Okay, all right. This is an all timer. All right. Well, let's see. I'm trying to remember who was all involved. Nick Burns was there. Derek Gerber, a few Brandon Gerber. Some of those guys were all there. And
me, Wes.
Well, you weren't there. You and Wes weren't there at first because we started at this all-you-can-drink. Derek Gerber won this all-you-can-drink thing at McFadden's at Ohio State. So we go there, and basically it was 2 hours, and you could get these tickets, and unlimited tickets, and you just turn in. You could get 2 drinks at a time. And we got started, and I made it a goal to drink as much as I could in those 2 hours. And I just wanted to see what would happen. And I blacked out before the 2 hours were over. And this is coming from a guy that could handle his alcohol. I mean, I was a maniac. Like we started, I just grabbed a double fist of. Yeah, no, I was a maniac. I grabbed a double fist of beer and just boom, boom, chugged them down like immediately, and then ran downstairs, grabbed two more. And I just started racing everybody. Like Kyle Honecker was there, and I was like, "Hey, Kyle, I bet I can drink two before you can drink one, you pussy." And we get in a race, and I slam both of them, and he's not even close. And I like slap it out of his hand and like start humping his face. I mean, I was absolutely incontinent. Like there was this dude that was like in the bathroom, like giving out like mints and shit. And I was like best friends with him at first. Like I was like, whoa, I've never seen like a dude, one of those helper people in the bathroom. It was just so cool. That dude hated me by the time we left that bar. Because
dude, Chet Young says, one time at Old Man's, I think I puked on a cat and fell down the porch steps.
Yeah, that definitely happened.
All right, keep going with your story.
Okay, so like I'm just racing everybody. I'm racing the bartenders. I mean, I'm being making an absolute fool of myself. And then about 90 minutes in, like things start making a huge turn for the worse. I've had at least 20 drinks in my 90 minutes, at least. Like I think of at least I was counting them and like just proclaiming to everybody how much I was drinking than all of them. And then like I kind of wake up from like a mini blackout and I am going, I'm sorry, dude, I'm sorry. And I'm in the bathroom cleaning, like wiping up a shit ton of puke off the floor. And that dude's like, get out of here, get out of here. And he hates me. He's my enemy now. And then next thing I know, we're outside the bar, and I discovered that my friends had told me to Coyote Ugly and dance on top of the bar, and I was trying to do that, and like, and I was really going to try to dance on the bar, and then I apparently smacked a waitress on the ass really hard, and I don't remember this at all. I don't remember this at all. But I did, and she went over to the bouncers, and he just comes over and goes, "You and your friends have to leave," and we all had to leave. And then Wes Bergman was, yeah.
When you get hammered, you turn into like a date rapist.
I don't know. I smacked a waitress on the ass. I don't even know if like I was goaded into it or not. I honestly can't tell you. And then
she was into it, man. She was into it.
She was obviously not into it. But then after we get kicked out, I find out that Wes is having a party. I'm blacked. I don't even remember any of this. But then we hear that Wes is having a big party that night. So we all get together and go to Wes's. And I'm already a belligerent maniac at this point. And I show up to Wes's and I just start drinking like everything. I remember throwing up all over myself. Like I was grossing people out. I was screaming.
You did. You were
I got in a fight with you a couple times.
Oh yeah.
And I kept screaming, "Put the money on the rail."
Because I told you that you couldn't do something. I can't remember. To this day, I can't remember what the bet was. But you're like, yeah, put the money on the rail. Put the money on the rail.
Yeah, I just kept screaming it. And there's like there were video of me doing that. Like there's video, like Derek had video of me trying to get in a fight with you. There's video of me screaming money on the rail. And then I just wandered off in the middle of the night. And my roommate said I got picked up by the cops and they dropped me off at my place. But
yeah, they stuck you in the back. That's the funny part. Tell them the funny part.
Well, what funny part?
I think it's you got stuck in the back of a paddy wagon. They call it the paddy wagon. And didn't you lose your fucking shoe?
I don't remember that part. That was I think different. I know I got brought back by the cops, but there was a funnier part of this in the aftermath that I never knew about. Like Ludacris was putting on like a free show at Ohio State, so I went with like my girlfriend at the time, and she had to go to the bathroom, and I'm like, okay, whatever. So I'm waiting outside the girls' bathroom for her, and some dude I've never met in my entire life like walks by me, does a double take, and then comes back and like points to me and he goes, "Hemmy?" And I'm like, "Yeah," and he goes, "Dude, you're a fucking legend, man. Do you remember that night at Wes's?" And I'm like, no. He's like, "Dude, you were saying you could drink everybody under the table, and we poured this ridiculous concoction of like 4 beers and like 6 shots, and you just slammed it in like 10 seconds. You're a god, man. You're a fucking god. and like I have no memory of this man. I've ever meeting this person, but according to him, I'm a legend. I just thought that was hilarious.
You lost your fucking shoe that night. I know for a fact.
I probably did. I wouldn't be shocked.
He said you showed up at home with fucking missing a shoe. Like you got thrown in the back of the paddy wagon.
Yeah,
it's that big thing where they can put a bunch of people in it.
Yeah,
tossed your ass in there.
I got no recollection. That was the second time I got taken home by the police at Ohio State. Basically, I used them as like a free taxi service when I got drunk when I was at Ohio State. I didn't ever get arrested. Like, there's no like thing on my like for getting arrested or anything. I don't have a record, but like I guess when I got like super fucked up at Ohio State, like I would just start wandering around on the streets, and they would just pick me up and take me home. It was great.
About that, guys. Let me fucking get Max waitresses on the ass, pukes on himself, and gets taken home in a paddy wagon and fucking loses his shoe.
Banned for life from bars. But McFadden's closed down and it got replaced by something else, so I can go back.
So you can go now, huh?
Yeah.
That's great. That's absolutely great. I love that shit. Dude, I don't know if
oh, God.
What?
Nick Burns says, with the floor, you chugged like 3 pitchers of Ice House, ripped your clothes off on the patio, and started running towards the Schottenstein Center. Yeah, that happened.
What the fuck are you gonna do? Run? Play some sports? You ready to play some b-ball?
That's an entirely different story, but I can tell it. if you got the time.
No, we'll just go back and forth here. There's
okay, we'll go you. Then I got to tell that story because.
Oh yeah, dude, go ahead. There's one time we got fucking hammered in Bowling Green. It was like me, Burbach, Majors, Lil Gerbs, B Gerbs. I think Joel, one of Gerber's, one of Brian Gerber's roommates. I think he was there. I'm not sure. We're just slamming shots, and at the end of the night, they're already hammered. And they're just trying to get me fucked up, and I had no idea they were doing this. And they were giving themselves shots of Coca-Cola and just feeding me 151. And I got fucking destroyed. And I ended up drinking this, got hammered, and I don't remember anything after that, but I have videotapes of me. I guess I'm walking down Wooster Street, and I stop at an ATM, and I just piss on the ATM. Yeah. And he's going farther and farther away from me, zooming into me. I remember when he goes, "Sharples, what are you doing?" I'm like, "Huh? What do you want?" I was like, "What do you want from me?" Yeah, so that was fucking ridiculous. So we end up back at Brian's house, and I'm fucking hammered. And I remember I called my mom. I'm like, "Mom, I'm fucking hammered, drunk. What are you doing?" And I'm like calling my mom. I end up falling asleep on Gerber's toilet that night, taking a shit. I woke up and like,
you just love falling asleep on toilets.
I fell asleep taking a shit on Gerber's toilet, and I woke up with like a shit patty caked to my ass. I had to like I woke up with like numb legs that end up having bruises on the back. If I could have had I could have had a fucking deep vein thrombosis. I get up and I remember waddling. It's like 7 a.m. Nobody's awake. I remember waddling to the kitchen. I grabbed 2 paper towels. And I reached back and I ripped this shit patty off my ass. It was like a fucking shape of a hockey puck. It just ripped my ass hairs out. I threw that shit in the toilet. Threw that shit in the toilet. Just chugged like 6 bottles of water. I just go back and I fall asleep, dude. It was horrible. I remember telling the story. I remember telling that story before. I think I was telling the people on this show that story. But, dude, that was ridiculous, dude. It was unimaginable pain when I ripped that shit off. I mean, dude, that's just one of 2,000 stories I have like this from college days.
All right. I got to tell the Final Four story because this is an all-timer for me. And I apologize to any family members that are viewing. So let's get that out of the way first. It all started when Ohio State had the Thad Five. Remember Greg Oden, Mike Conley? They were sick.
Yeah.
I mean, that team with all the freshmen, they made it to the finals. They lost to your team, Florida. But this was during the run of the NCAA tournament. We had this big party during the Final Four game, OSU versus Georgetown. And like we were having the party at my cousin Jeremy Laubacher's place, which was like 3 or 4 houses down from mine in just north of campus. And everybody's just getting wasted. We're having a great time. I brought a 30-pack of Ice House. Nick Burns was there. Dude, Ice House was my beer of choice. You could get like a 30-pack for like $11.99.
Yeah,
it was so good. Yeah, it was great. So Ohio State wins the game, and I go like victory chug, and I just slam a pitcher of beer in a beer bong. And, no, I didn't even do a beer bong. I just grabbed the pitcher and just tilted it back and drank the whole thing. And I finished off like whoever I went with. I think I brought, Burns was with us, but we finished off the 30-pack, so I had to go get more beer. So I'm like stumbling to the CVS pharmacy, and I bought another 30-pack Ice House and like 6 big bags of beef jerky. And we get back, and I'm starting to black out. I ate all the beef jerky just on the walk back.
6 bags of that shit?
6 bags, yeah, 6 bags. And I just start slamming beers again, and then I wake up. And I'm in my bed. I'm wearing jeans, but no underwear. And I'm like, what the fuck happened? So I'm trying to like retrace my steps. I go downstairs, and there is mud everywhere. And there's a trail to the fridge. And I open the fridge, and that 30-pack of Ice House, there's like the whole case is like completely dented and fucked up and muddy. And inside are like 15 to 20 Ice House cans, all dented and muddy, and some of them are leaking and stuff. And I'm just like, what the fuck happened? So I get back to Jeremy's, and he's like, how are you alive? Because I get, here's a word for word, the story that he told me that happened is I blacked out, and I just started becoming a lunatic, just like at McFadden's when I got us banned from the bar. And when I get really, really drunk like that, I become very susceptible to suggestion. Like if people want me to do stupid shit, I'll start doing it because I'll do whatever people will say. And like I was just screaming and yelling, and then somebody says, you should go streaking. And they dared me to run across the Lane Avenue Bridge, which is the main huge ass bridge to enter like downtown Columbus, Ohio State campus area. It's this huge bridge, like
I know where it's at.
4 lanes, in between the Schottenstein Center and the Horseshoe. And I had a dream. I didn't know it was real, but in my dream, I remember walking out off the porch, and I remember pulling down my pants, pulling down my underwear, and I hear some girls go, ah! and then that was the only part of my dream I remember. But Jeremy said, that's exactly what I did. I kept my shirt on, and I just started running down, and I started running down the alley towards the Lane Avenue Bridge with just a shirt on. That's it. And Jeremy said he had to tackle me into a dumpster to keep me from actually making it to the bridge because I was totally going to do it. And he had to tackle me into a dumpster, and I was just incensed. I wanted to fight him. Like he said, I was trying to punch him and shit. And
was your dick out?
Yeah, my dick's out. I only had a shirt on, and he finally gets me to come back to the party. I still don't have my pants on, and I'm like holding the party hostage, saying because they said they were going to pay me or something. So they took my own wallet out of my pants that are laying on the ground and gave me all the money that was in my wallet, and that got me to put the pants back on. And then Jeremy was like, the party's finally starting to wind down, and Jeremy's like, hey, I got a game for you. It's called who can pick up all the beer the fastest. And I'm like, I'm the best. I can fuck you up. I'll beat you at everything. You're my bitch. And he's like, I'll beat your ass at this. And he said I picked up every beer can in his house in like 5 minutes, just running around. And then for some reason, this is the story behind the dented up beer case. Like all of our remaining ice house, he said that I put it on the porch and I said I was going to kick it home. And then he says I opened the back door, went into the house, and he says, what's he doing? And then he said, all of a sudden he'd heard this rumbling, and I came out in a full sprint from the house to the porch and kicked the ice house as hard as I could, and just beer started flying out and spraying all over the place. And then I just kept kicking it the whole way back to the apartment until we got to my front door. And then I put it all in the fridge, all fucked up and dented and muddy and shit.
Did you lose your underwear?
I have no idea what happened to that underwear.
Oh my God. Probably somebody's fucking flagpoles.
And then this is the real gross part is I woke up and literally there was a pile of beef jerky on the floor next to me. Like this tall.
Ew, dude.
Like, basically all 6 bags of beef jerky came out like intact. Like there was like it wasn't liquidy or anything. It was I just puked up pure beef jerky. I mean, if I wanted to, I could have eaten it again. It was that like pure beef jerky.
That's disgusting. Put that shit on a pizza and cook it.
Yeah.
Dude, one time me and fucking Fabro got super hungry. I was hammered drunk and I didn't want to drive all the way downtown, so we got in my Explorer. I drove a couple blocks closer to the gas station, so we'd have to walk those extra couple blocks, and I just parked in a random person's driveway. Got out. We walk. I get this old ass like foot long hot dog from this. It's like a 3 a.m. hot dog. You know what I mean? This shit's been rotating for months probably. Favreau gets a burrito. We barely make it back to Brad's house before we just puke this shit up all over his porch. A foot long hot dog, and he puked up his burrito. That shit was crazy. It was just the funny part was like, man, we don't want to walk this extra couple of blocks, so let's risk a DUI and park at some random person's driveway right next to this like Buick. Like it was like my house. I pulled up in there, if I can turn the car on, was strutted down the street. Got my ass a nasty ass foot long hot dog from fucking 7-Eleven.
Yeah,
oh my.
Probably didn't look much better than my beef jerky on the way up.
Dude, I wonder if Brett's gonna be listening. He needs to be here because we had a really funny story that we could tell together, but he needs to be here.
He told me that there's a story. I don't know if I want to bring it up.
Go ahead.
Somebody pretending to be Courtney Schwartz and really fucking your world up.
Dude.
He told me you should tell that story.
We only got 3 people in this room. We should have like fucking 40 at least.
Oh, we got a bunch. We've reached like we've got comments from Chet Young, Erica, Nick Burns, Malia. So
yeah,
we got people.
This basically what happened was I was from those that don't know, I slept with somebody I shouldn't have slept with a long time ago, and it was like over a decade ago, and people make fun of me for it. I don't even give a shit, whatever. And I remember I don't even remember where I was at. I can't remember where I was at. But Lob calls up. He calls me up, but then it ends up being this girl that we know, and she pretended to be Courtney Schwartz. And she goes, Brandon, I just want to let you know that I'm pregnant.
Jesus.
I go, what? She goes, yeah, we're going to have a little Sharples running around. And I paused for a second. I don't even know what. I'm like 18, 19 at this time. I'm like looking up in the sky with my phone in my hand, like, finally it comes to me. What are you talking about? I didn't even have sex with you. Totally denied even fucking having sex with this girl. So I'm like, maybe like an off chance if she is pregnant, I can make it all the way through the DNA test. See what happens from there. I mean, play my odds, you know what I mean? So So they was giving it to me. I kept saying, well, I didn't do anything with you. We didn't have sex. And finally, I said, you know what? I don't even give a fuck. Because you know what? My sperm is so fucking strong, that shit will just shoot right through the egg. That's what I told her. I told her that my sperm's so strong that that shit will shoot right through the egg. And then I told her, and the rest of it, I just beat up with my dick. I killed all my sperm with my dick. There's nothing you can do about it. There's no way your fucking ass is pregnant. It ended up being Angela Kirkendall. That's they were with them that night. So
that's hilarious.
Funny.
They got you. They got you good, man. They got you good.
Oh, dude, I was fucking furious, but I was not even furious. I was more frightened. I'm like, I'm gonna have a fucking baby with this man child. It's like, it's not something I was looking forward to, man. Not at all. So that's that story. I got a bunch of stories, dude. I'll tell you. All right, I got a good story for our listeners.
All right, let's hear it.
Good story. So I was in the military and I came home. It was like my first Christmas back, and I hook up with Reed, your best friend Reed.
Oh yeah, best buddy. That could be a good story someday.
And we're in Columbus, and I can't remember where we went, some Irish pub. And his parents had like a Christmas party. Walt's parents did down in Columbus, and I just got fucking shit hammered there with a bunch of old people. It was fun, It wasn't like piss drunk, but a good, nice. I was drunk. Mm-hmm. We go to this bar. And we're just pounding, Irish car bombs. We're drinking the shit out of beer. We meet up with these two chicks, and we get hammered drunk. We go back to this girl's apartment, and I had like the most filthy, dirty sex I've ever had in my life with this girl. And it was like one of those things where, like, I pulled out all the stops that you like normally wouldn't do. Like, we're talking ass smacking, hair pulling, trying to get it in the ass. Like, it was like. We were doing everything possible, and this girl literally told Walt, she's like, I'm obsessed with this guy now because he took me places sexually that nobody else ever has, and I can hardly remember what I even did. You know what I mean? Like, I was so hammered. But to make this amazing story even more amazing, and the whole point of even telling you this, is I fall asleep in this chick's bed, I'm naked as shit, and I wake up, and my heart is pounding out of my chest. It is pounding, and like scaring the fucking shit out of me. So
you were in love.
Yeah, I was in love with some fucking skeezer I met at the bar. Now, she was actually super nice, and like she's like a teacher or something. But anyways, so yeah, I defiled a teacher. But so anyways, I get up and I put my underwear on and I walk into her kitchen. I get a couple glasses of water. I'm pounding them. And my heart is going probably like 170 beats a minute. I'm not even exaggerating. This thing is just pounding, and I can't even breathe. I'm fucking drunk as shit. I grab my phone and I dial 911.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah. I call the fucking ambulance. I tell them, and she walks out of the room. She goes, Did you just call an ambulance? I go, yeah. I go, I'm fucking having a heart attack. I said, I'm having a heart attack. I'm laying on the carpet and they come in. I'm like, yeah, I'm a medic. I'm an Air Force medic. My heart palpitations like 170 beats a minute. I'm like, can't breathe. They take me to the fucking hospital. They put an IV in me in there. They're doing all these tests on me, EKGs, and they're like, yeah, you just have tachycardia. You're not having a heart attack. They get my lab tests back, and this doctor comes in and he goes, you doing a little bit of partying tonight? I go, yeah, I guess. He's like, yeah. He's like, your lab test came back somebody that's drunk as hell. Like, you're severely dehydrated. You're like, dude, I'm going to tell you this. I think I was going on like 24 hours without sleep. Mm-hmm. So I was like, mass sleep deprivation, mass alcohol equals sharbles in the fucking ER after mass sex. So like, you know what I mean? I overexerted myself. I was severely dehydrated and I didn't sleep for 24 hours. I ended up in the hospital, and this chick, she stayed with me, dude. She was a trooper. I to this day, I wish I knew her name. I can't remember it anymore.
She should have been a keeper, man. She was the keeper. Yeah. She was the one. She was the one,
man. She stuck by my side. I just met her that night. When you give them the good dick, they don't go away, even if it's the first night. So she came and took care of me, man. And they put a couple fluid bags in me. Told me like, well, your military insurance will take care of it, and just fucking sent me on my way. We end up back at her apartment, and I was sober at this time. And we're like, trying to watch. I was trying to watch Sports Center on her couch, and she's like, all trying to cuddle up on me, and I'm sober at this point, and I'm just kind of like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, get the fuck away from me. Like, we're just buddies now. Like, I don't want to bang you when I'm sober. So Reed and walk in, and they've already heard the story. They're like, fucking throw their arms, and they're like, whoa, like, I can't believe that shit happened. We end up going to B-dubs with these chicks. I had to spend like the whole fucking day with this girl, knowing that like all the shit I did sexually to her, and the fact that I had to go to the ER with fucking anxiety attack and mass dehydration. I had to like look at this chick in the eye for like the next 4 hours. I'm like, this is such a fucking horrible time. I just smashed my wings. I'm like, let's get the fuck out of here. I'm like, Reed, let's go. Yeah, dude. I mean, I got that's just one of many.
I'm telling you that she was the keeper. I mean, she just stood by your side for life, man.
I know, dude. First night she meets me, she's like staying with me, like, rubbing my hand when I'm sitting there in the hospital bed. Yeah. And she like even tried to like hold me down with the cop too, or not the cop, with the doctor. She's like, "Oh, he didn't drink that much, doc." You know what I mean? She didn't even know how much I drank, but she was trying to be nice, trying to like have my back. Really, I drank a fucking ass ton. Yeah. That was pretty good.
I've never wound up in the hospital, so I'm starting to hear an echo though. You might want to be careful with the.
Yeah, well, is it echoing now?
I don't think so. Nope. We're good.
All right, we're good. We're good.
We're definitely good. We got any more crazy stories, or we want to start rolling through everything else? Because right now, so far, let's see. Here's the comment section. We got Justin Knopp, Hemm Dog, Chester Young, Hemm Dog is a legend.
Hemm Dog.
Erica Metzger, Hemmy. And then Chester Young, one time at Old Man's, I think I puked on a cat and fell down the porch steps.
He said Hemm Dog. That shit reminds me of Wedding Crashers. He's like, Will Ferrell's like, yeah, J-Bone. He's like, J-Bone's good. He's
the guys. Yeah, those guys that I hang out with, Ben Wagner, Phil Wagner, those guys, they call me Hemm Dog. So I got different.
I don't really have a rant today, actually. I really don't have anything I want to rant about. I don't want to force anything because it takes
away. Good. Life is good.
It takes away from my authentic rant if I just make some shit up. Right now, I'm doing all right, man. I could rant against my fucking baby mama. She's being mean to me, but other than that,
hey, why not?
No, that's not good for anybody.
Yeah, especially right now. Especially this is gonna be out there forever. So.
Yeah, dude. I already fucking talked about her a couple other podcasts. That didn't work out very well.
Yeah. What, did she listen and then get mad?
Fuck no, she didn't listen. Thank God. She didn't give a shit about me enough to listen to my shit.
Oh, there you go.
I'm like, everybody else cares about what I do. You don't even want to listen to my podcast. I'm like, what if me and Hemmy get famous? I'm not giving you shit.
We're trying.
Yeah, we'll get there.
I got to get some more stories.
I want to hear some more gems.
Yeah, we do have some gems this week. They're nothing insane, but basically, I have so many Netflix series that I've watched over the course of since I've bought the thing. It's disgusting. I should be ashamed of myself, to be honest. But I'll give out 2 Netflix series that I thought were really good, and then I'll give out a comic book series that I think you guys should check out. So. All right. What's so funny?
Nothing. I'll tell you offline.
Okay. Anyway, all right, for Netflix. All right, here's gem number 1. It is Better Off Ted. It was like an NBC series that lasted like just 1 season, I think. But it's on Netflix. It's basically like this evil corporation that has no morals, and then the main dude kind of has a crisis of conscience. And it's a comedy. It's hilarious, but and then there's some goofy scientists that are really likable. But you should just watch it. Like, they're always performing like these horrific experiments and just creating these like doomsday type weapons and stuff that they have to deal with. And there's just a lot of hilarious fallout basically off of that. It's a really good show. You'd like it. And then number 2, I'll go with Marco Polo. Have you ever heard of that one?
Yeah.
it's a Netflix original series. So it wasn't like another TV show that Netflix is just posting, but it's basically follows like kind of the life of Marco Polo, like from before he became like the famous rich trader that opened up the Silk Road to Europe. Like basically his time that he spent under one of the great Khans. I forget the dude's name. It's not Genghis Khan. It was like Genghis Khan's grandson, Kublai Khan, I think, who actually had like the biggest territory of everybody. Like he controlled all of China, all of Mongolia, most of Russia, like, and then even expanded all the way. Like he ended up in the history of all times, he like had the most territory. So there's a lot of really cool shit that took place in that. So really sweet series though, dealing with his enemies and lots of awesome stuff. So highly recommend Marco Polo. I really like, if you like just good old fashioned historical violence and drama. And for the other one, let's go with the comic book series called Spread. It's basically like this. Earth has been taken over by kind of this living organism. They just call it the Spread. And there's some people that are immune to it, but like if it even touches some people, it like just infects them and like turns them into monsters and shit. And, I mean, it's really, and like there's just these areas that aren't controlled by the Spread that are like the last bastions of hope. And it's really fucking cool. I mean, you guys, if you're into that kind of shit, it's really good. Like it's got like 3 trades out right now, so it's called Spread.
Good.
Yeah. So those are the gems for this week. No anti-gems. I didn't watch anything that like really pissed me off. Like,
yeah, I tell you what, man, that anti-gem for Bill Nye. I've read a bunch of articles about some of the crazy shit that dude.
Yeah, Jesus, I was like,
he's off the fucking rocker right now.
Ruining my childhood, man. Like it's worth talking about again. It was so bad.
Yeah, dude, he's a fucking. I'm not a big fan of him.
I loved Bill Nye, man. I watched every episode growing up.
Cool back in the day, you know what I mean?
But yeah, this show is not anything like the old school Bill Nye. Like it makes you sad is really what it does.
What do you think about? Do you think that we're gonna fucking go to war with those North Koreans?
Maybe. Like North Korea isn't getting a lot of support from China right now, and they're still batshit crazy.
They're a fucking joke, dude. We can wipe.
Oh, I know we could.
Off the fucking planet.
We would, and we would absolutely destroy them. The problem is South Korea is right next door, and if they launch like all their shit, like they're not going to touch us, but they could fucking
and Japan too.
Yeah, I'm not even as worried about Japan. Like they barely can get missiles that cross the
barely can cross,
but they can cross the fucking border with all of their fucking bombs. And South Korea is like a really nice advanced society.
Oh, yeah.
Like they're in great shape, but North Korea would fuck them up with a lot of missiles and bombs, and a lot of people would die. That's what I'm worried about. I'm not worried about us.
Yeah, no, I get you.
And even if they have like even a shitty nuke, they could do a lot of fucking damage.
A shitty nuke.
They could.
I don't know if there's such thing as a shitty nuke anyway.
I mean, like we have bombs that are like 1,000 times stronger than the original nuclear bomb. Like even if they have just the original, like, and they're that far behind, that could still do a lot of fucking damage because there's some highly populous cities right across the border. So that's what I'm worried about. I'm not worried about us getting in any trouble, but like our allies could.
Yeah, for sure. Fuck them.
Yeah, fuck them. But I mean,
I'm just kidding. I'm not that heartless. I'm not that heartless. But yeah, dude, I don't got much else right now. This is kind of just a test episode for everybody watching.
I thought it was a mild success.
No, it was. We'll get there.
Yeah.
I think we didn't really have anything to talk about. It was a pretty mild week.
I mean, round 2 of the NBA playoffs started, but I mean, we're not really giving that much of a shit about the NBA playoffs. So.
Yeah, I'm not going to talk about the NBA playoffs again until we get like Western and Eastern Conference Finals and then finals.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's pretty much all. It's really, honest to God, unless you're a hardcore basketball fan, that's the only thing that really matters anyways. It's like, that shit don't matter. Yeah. It's just too long. Sometimes I think the baseball season's a little too long, too. What do you think? What do you think about the baseball season? I think 162 games is too much.
I mean, it's fucking forever, but I mean, that's what it is now. I mean, if they shortened it, it would change everything, like the records and stuff.
Yeah, I get it.
My issue is like these guys get like 12 days off the whole season of 162 games. Like NBA playoffs, they get like 12 games off per series.
Yeah, it seems like this shit goes forever, right? These series.
The NBA playoffs last like 3 months.
They're like, oh yeah, we played on Friday. We won't play again until Wednesday. We'll see you back here on Wednesday, folks. Like, are you shitting me?
So, I mean,
you're playing tomorrow.
I would be cooler with the 162 game season if they gave them a couple more days off. I know that would make it longer, but I mean, these guys.
I just wonder, like, who
such a wear and tear on
sat down and like made the shit up and be like, you know what? Let's make that shit 162 fucking games a year on top of a couple months of spring training.
Yep.
That sounds good.
It used to be less. Like before Maris, it was like 150 or something. And then they added a few games.
I think wasn't like the 1900s. It was like when it first started becoming like a pro league. Wasn't it like 80 some games or something like that?
Well, when Babe Ruth hit like the record, it was like 150, like two games or something, or 154.
So many. That's so many.
But I mean, he hit 50 or 60 home runs when they had a shortened season. That is insane. Back then, guys were leading the league with like 10 home runs. So that's why there's an asterisk next to Roger Maris's original 61, because he beat Babe Ruth's record, but they had a longer season. So they wanted to be like, fuck this guy. He beat our hero, you know?
Yeah. Babe Ruth, man. The guy's a legend.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like, if you ever go look at pictures, you're like, how the fuck was this dude the best player of all time? Almost. You know what I mean? Like, the shit
he was an amazing pitcher too, like throwing like no hitters in the playoffs and shit. Like he had some playoff records that were still standing, like at least up until like a decade ago. They might still be standing. Like, the dude was absolutely phenomenal.
He's just he seems like a cartoon character. Just the way he looks.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? His persona, the way he looks, his origin story, like it's still like kind of a mystery exactly how he got to like the boarding school. Like, you know what I mean? Like. Everything about his like original story, like they if you ever read any biopics about him, like it's all about like they don't know exactly how he really originated.
Mm-hmm.
So as long as like God made Babe Ruth,
aliens had to be aliens.
That's why he looked all fucked up. You know what I mean? He doesn't look like a normal human being. He got cancer. He got that cancer, skinny as shit, but he still had that big head.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy.
Right. Well, I think that's about it though for this week's show. So hope you guys enjoyed the live stream. We'll keep this video up on the Facebook page, and then I'll try to edit the audio and sneak in a couple extra things. So, but yeah, that'll do it for this week's show. Hope you guys liked it. We'll try, we'll give out some announcements and everything about the show for next week, but should be same time, same place, 9 p.m. We'll let you know if it's going to be video version or regular podcast, but yeah, that should do it. So
yeah, man, go like our page, guys. So I'm all ready. We'll see you.
Yep, no crazy outro music today because I don't think we can incorporate that in this version of the stream.
We could. I could just fucking play something for you guys right now.
Trollolo song?
Trollolo. All right, guys. Well, I'm out of here.
All right.
We'll see you guys later.
Have a good one, guys.